Booktube, welcome back to my channel. Something big happened here on Booktube this weekend and I'm just finally getting a chance to weigh in on it. The something big is the Booktube Prize was announced. Robert, he has a channel called Barter Horse, which I will link down below along with his announcement video. Robert has decided that he would host a Booktube Prize where booktubers from all kinds of backgrounds, as long as you have a Booktube channel and you communicate with Robert, you had a chance to be asked to influence a long list for this prize. This Booktube Prize is organized to recognize what we consider to be the best novels published in 2018. Now, for some of us, especially those of us who don't necessarily read a lot of new releases, some of the books that may have been suggested as contenders may have come as a little bit of a surprise to us because we haven't read them, even though we've heard them talked about here on Booktube. Robert reached out to several, I don't know how many, maybe dozens of booktubers, and asked them to help nominate some books and vote for some books. And through that round of pre-nomination, he came up with a list of 48 books that have now comprised the long list for the first ever Booktube Prize. And it's all collated on a website called booktubeprize.org, which of course I'll link in the description box down below. And I'm really excited because while I didn't read a lot of new releases in 2018, quite a few of the books that I read that were new releases have made their way onto this list. So now that the Booktube Prize is in its long list phase, I'm going to be reading more of these books. I know this doesn't bode well for my reading my TBR shelf, but funny enough, there are quite a few books that are on this list that I acquired in 2018 and still haven't read. So this is actually going to help me reduce my TBR. More on that later. What is interesting to me is that of the major book prizes that we hear about, the Man Booker Prize, the National Book Award, and the Pulitzer Prize, the Man Booker winner is on this long list. The National Book Award winner is also on this long list, but the Pulitzer Prize winner, nowhere to be found. And I know that the Pulitzer Prize winning novel is quite often controversial, and last year was no less controversial because a lot of people said that they didn't really see the literary quality in that book. They didn't really see what made that book so special. I still haven't read it, spoiler alert, but I'm interested to see that it didn't make the list. Well, we'll see. We'll go through the 2019 long list together and I'll tell you how many of the books I've read and which of these I'm planning to read, because I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but I'm going to be judging a future round of this prize, and I don't know when I'm going to be judging yet, but I want to have read a lot more of these books by the time the judging comes around so that my judging work is a little less, and at least I'm going into the better appreciation of the other books that are contenders for this prize. So as we go through the list, here are a few caveats that you may or may not recognize from looking at the books that appear on the list. Number one, this list is composed entirely of novels that were first published in English, and they don't necessarily have to have been published first in the United States, but the first publication should be English. So translated novels were not eligible for this prize. Also, the books are all novels. There's no poetry, there's no short story collection, there's no graphic novels, there are no memoirs, there's none of that. These are just novels, not novels in verse, novels. The traditionally expressed novel format. Again, I'm just giving you an overview of the prize. If you want more complete information, definitely go check out Robert's channel or booktubeprize.org for more information. Starting with 150 books, and Robert invited various booktubers to help vote for books advanced to these long list category. And now that we have the 48 books, he's arranged these 48 books into 8 categories of 6 books each, and we have some first round judges who will be helping to vote for their favorite 3 books from each one of those categories. From the octofinals, we'll go on to the quarterfinals and the semifinals until finally we get to a 6-book strong shortlist, and that should be announced sometime in the early summer because the finals will take place in August or September, I guess, depending on how hard this is to judge. Because while it is one thing to think about and talk about Booktube prizes from the outside, I don't think any of us have been involved in helping to judge a major book award. And so we're about to see, or all the people who are involved are about to see, what it's really like on the inside. But for now, we have this 48 book long list that I'm gonna go through and see how many of them I've read. And of course, I invite you to tell me how many of them you've read as well in the comments. So here we go. Here are the 8 groups of 6 books each that make up the long list. In group A, we have John Boyne, A Ladder to the Sky, which I own but haven't read. Aro Kwan, The Incendiaries, haven't read. Sarah Perry, Melmoth, no. Anna Burns' Milkman is the 2018 Man Booker Prize winner. I just received it in the mail, haven't read it yet. Chloe Benjamin's Immortalist, no. And Amy Bloom, White House is no. So I haven't read any books from group A. In group B, we have Rebecca Mackay's The Great Believers, Oyinkan Brathwaite, My Sister the Serial Killer, Fatima Farzine Mirza, A Place for Us, Delia Owens, Where the Crawdads Sing, Rachel Kushner's The Mars Room, and Matt Haig's How to Stop Time. Of those 6 books, I've only read Rachel Kushner's The Mars Room when it was nominated for the Man Booker Prize. In group C, we have Joyce Carol Oates' Hazard of Time Travel, Imogen Herm's Gowar's The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock, Karis Davis, West, Stephen Marcus, Ohio, Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone, and Jodi Picoult's A Spark of Light. I have not read any of the books in group C. For group D, we have Richard Powell's The Overstory, Clarissa Gonewan, Rainbirds, Sigrid Nunez, The Friend, Aminata Forna's Happiness, Essie Odujian's Washington Black, and Tayari Jones' An American Marriage. Of these 6 books, I've only read Essie Odujian's Washington Black, again because it was nominated for the Man Booker Prize in 2018. The Overstory by Richard Powers was also nominated, but at the time I don't think it was available in the United States, and I just didn't get to it. It's also a huge book. I would like to read An American Marriage. I have that on my TBR for the upcoming months, so I think it just got bumped up on my TBR from this. Group E has Shoba Rayo's Girls Burn Brighter, Meg Wolitzer's The Female Persuasion, Michael Andante's Warlight, Claire Fuller's Bitter Orange, Tim Winton's The Shepherd's Hut, and Lenny Zumes' Red Clocks. From this list, I've only read Warlight by Michael Andante, again, because it was nominated for the Man Booker Prize. A lot of the new releases that I read last year were because they were Man Booker contenders. Group F has Christine Dalcher's Fox, Madeline Miller's Circe, Ling Ma's Severance, Asia Gable's The Ensemble, Ingrid Rojas Contreras' Fruit of the Drunken Tree, and Pat Barker's The Silence of the Girls. Of this group, I own Fruit of the Drunken Tree, which I haven't read yet, but I have read Circe by Madeline Miller. Group G has Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi, Wayuto Moore's She Would Be King, Heather Morris, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, Barbara Kingsolver's Unsheltered, Peng Shepherd's The Book of M, and Natalie Sylvester's Everyone Knows You Go Home. Of this group, I have read Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi, and I own She Would Be King by Wayuto Moore. Of the others, no. And finally, Group H has Fire Sermon by Jamie Quattro, Transcription by Kate Atkinson, Everything Under by Daisy Johnson, There by Tommy Orange, Terra Nullius by Claire G. Coleman, and Tangerine by Christine Mangan. Of these, I own Tangerine, and I've read There by Tommy Orange. The others, no dice. So of this list of 48 books, I've only read 6 of them. So I'm going to be reading the books that I own that are on this list that I haven't read yet, which are another 4 or 5 of those. You'll hear more about this prize as time goes on because I'm one of the judges. I don't think I'll be able to share with you which group I'll be judging, but as much as I can tell you, I will. And so for now, that's the Booktube Prize. It is my little reaction video to the Booktube Prize announcement and my encouragement for you to check out the link. Go check out Barter Horde's channel. Check out the link for the Booktube Prize and let me know in the comments how many of the books you've read as well. And if you're as excited about this Booktube owned prize as I am, because I love book prizes and the fact that we now have something that we own, I'm excited. For now, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Let's talk in the comments, and until next time, happy reading.